You may not know how much time you're wasting by not taking advantage of the tips and tricks and shortcuts that Pro Tools has. These tricks and shortcuts can help you stay focused on being creative and help you get to your best ideas faster. Number 1, track presets. So I've used track presets in a sense because I've had session templates where, you open up a template, it's ready to go. It's got a bunch of tracks with the plugins that you want on them, but track presets themselves are insane. So let's say you're working on something, you get to a sound that you really like and you want to use it again, make a track preset. I've got my sound up, ready to go, got it all EQ'd. I've got all the effects and compressors the way that I want them. I want to save this sound and use it for later. You'll right click on the track, head down to Save Track Preset. You can create a category. I've created a category called Instruments. We'll call this Lo-Fi Keys. And if you want to, you can even include any audio or MIDI that's on the track. You can even get super specific with the track data to recall when you want the track preset saved a certain way. Like let's say I don't want the track color that I made it to be that color. Don't need to track that. Or if you have comments written on the track that you want to remind yourself about a certain sound later, you can make sure that the track comments are included or not. Endlessly customizable here. Not sure why you would use some of these, but boom. So I'm going to save, boom, bada bing, bada boom. You got a track preset. So we're pulling up a new track here. You'll go to the track type section, this drop down, and find the category of where your track preset is saved. Mine's in instruments. Boom, Lo-Fi Keys. There it is. Create, it's all there. Whatever I put on it before, it brings it up exactly how I saved the track preset. Can save you a ton of time if you're using the same instrument in a few other sessions, or if it's just a sound that you really like that you want to use again, save it. Save it as a track preset. Number 2, this one seems kind of not super amazing, but it's incredibly useful. Plugin search. Pro Tools is a little bit behind the curve on getting plugin search. They added it in 2021. If you're like me and you have a ton of third-party plugins like from Waves or Universal Audio, this will save you a ton of time to sift through stuff. Because if you've got Universal Audio plugins, when you buy and download one plugin, it'll put all of their plugins on and say, hey, look at all these. Buy these. No, I don't want to buy them. I only want to buy the ones that I want. And so you pull up your dynamics, right? It's ridiculous. Don't do that. Go to search. I want my thermionic culture vulture because I want to make whatever track I'm working on nice and warm. There it is. Plugin search in all its glory. Again, not like this mind-blowing feature, but you might use this feature more often than any of the other ones I talk about. Next feature, strip silence. If you're editing a lot of audio and you just want to edit all the audio a certain way without having to edit it over and over and over again a specific way, you just use strip silence. You can find that in the edit drop down. Or if you're on Mac, Command U. Let's say we've got a vocal we need to edit. I want to get rid of the silence in between the singing. If I want to, I can play with the strip threshold. The strip threshold is the volume threshold that it will sense and determine, all right, how loud is the silence? If the silence is less than 75 dB, or if it's, let's raise the threshold a little bit. Let's say I want to get rid of any silence that's under 29 dB, or let's say like I want to keep most of the silence in between. Maybe it's like there's like a tape recorded thing happening. And so I want to raise the threshold and keep as much of the silence as possible. So you can play with the threshold across the entire selection of what you have selected for your audio here, right? If I need to get even more specific, I can use this milliseconds threshold here. And then with these two at the bottom with the clip start pad and the clip end pad, that just inserts extra time on the end to give you a bit of a buffer between your edits. All right, so I'm honing in here. I'm gonna raise my threshold, and you can kind of see as I move the threshold up, it's sort of zooming in and honing in on the audio that I wanna clean up. All right, I could be even more specific here with the strip duration. And then let's say, I wanna give a little bit of space on the beginning and end of every vocal section. So we're gonna put 600 milliseconds on the start, 600 at the end. Boom, we hit strip. And it stripped the silence. We did it. Next little shortcut, extracting chords from a MIDI selection. This one's pretty cool. Let's say you're in a hurry, you don't know what the chords are, you need to know what the chords are. Pro Tools not only can, sense what notes you played, but it'll lay out in a specific section that you highlight what those chords are and put them at the top as markers so you can read the chords above each of the chords that are being played in the MIDI roll. You go to the event menu, head down to extract chords from selection, and there you have it. As markers at each chord, it's added the chord. It's like magic. Look at that. A G add 9, an E minor add 4. And it's pretty accurate. About 90% of the time, it's spot on with whatever the chord is, even with some of the extensions like add 9, 11. Last one, the freeze and commit features. If you're intermediate to advanced, you probably already know this one, but this is worth repeating because there's some extra features that you might not be using. Let's say you're done with the MIDI part, you want to commit the audio to save your system some memory, but you're still playing with the mix and you're still playing with how it sounds with whatever effects you're putting on it. What I'll do is I'll deactivate everything except the actual MIDI instrument itself. I'll head down to commit, and in the source track section, I say do nothing, right? You could either hide it and make it inactive, like when you're done with this MIDI track, it can just hide it. You could delete the track. I don't recommend that. Or you can just do nothing. But I want to bring some of those effects down without committing it to the track. So I'll say do nothing, hit OK, rendering. Cool, so we still have our old instrument track up here with our effects, but the effects are disabled. So now we just bring the effects down and then reactivate them. Boom, now I can just go hide, make inactive. If you're pretty sure you're done tweaking an instrument, commit it this way, do nothing to the old track, bring the effects down, place it on the newly printed, newly committed audio, and keep tweaking. Do yourself a favor, implement this stuff. It'll save you a ton of time so that when you're in the kitchen cooking up your beats, you don't have to spend time fumbling around for the ingredients every time, getting the pots and pans out every time. You want to spend time creating. The quicker you streamline these in-between tasks, the faster you're going to get to your better ideas when you're making music. Go check out my channel for more. Bye.